Hello students, welcome to our today's online session. Hope all are fine.
By today we can wind up this chapter, only a few more questions to discuss. So we were talking about the theme of the story, the importance, relevance of mother tongue, how it can be the key to our prison of freedom, and what is linguistic chauvinism. All these things we discussed in our previous two classes. Today we can discuss the last two questions of this chapter. It's regarding the regret, very important question, and how they really realize how precious their language is. So very important questions, two important questions. So now look at question number 9. Everybody during the last lesson is filled with regret. Comment. A very frequently asked question, very important question, can be asked as either 2-mark question or 5-mark question. If it is 2-mark question, you need to write only points. If it is asked as a 5-mark question, you have to relate all the events mentioned in the chapter. So this is how the answer is given there. In the year 1870, during the Franco-Prussian War, French districts of Alsace and Lorraine fell into the hands of Prussians. So usually when we are writing a higher order thinking question, I have asked you people to relate it to the general things, or you have to write something general about the question, then about the answer. Here we couldn't say much about general about the question. It is about the character's regret. So you have to introduce the chapter itself. So that's why it has started like this. In the year 1870, during the Franco-Prussian War, the French districts of Alsace and Lorraine fell into the hands of Prussians. They harmed the teaching and studying of French language in these districts. There you can mention about the notice board, the notice in the notice board regarding the banning of French language learning teaching process from the next day onwards. All the teachers of the French language were ordered to leave these districts of Alsace and Lorraine. M. Hamel is one such teacher who teaches French in one of the villages of Alsace district. He has to leave his village the next day for good. Now he is delivering his last lesson of the French language. So the theme, the background is well described in the first paragraph. Why M. Hamel has to leave the village. What is the circumstances that compels him to leave the village is the first paragraph. Second paragraph, who all are regretting. Not only the students but also the village elders have come to attend the last class of French. Usually there will be students, but that day it's not only students, the elders of the village also came to attend the French class. Everybody in the class is full of regret. M. Hamel blames himself for giving too much holidays to his students and in this way of teaching them properly. So what M. Hamel regrets about? He blames himself for giving too much holidays to the students. The students, like France, blames themselves not for learning their language properly. So what is there for the students to regret about? So they are regretting about, they are blaming themselves for not learning the language properly. The village elders are also full of regret. They have not learned their language properly when they were young. Now they have come there to pay their tribute to M. Hamel for 40 years of selfless service. This is how this answer is given over there. But you could add what M. Hamel told about their parents too. Why they should regret. They wanted their children to go and earn something for the family than to learn. So that point can also be added along this one. Now the last question. The people in this story suddenly realize how precious their language is to them. What shows you this? Why does this happen? So their emotions. Here also the first paragraph generalize. You can talk about the background of the story. The people in this story didn't take the study of their language seriously. They always used to think that they have ample time to learn their language. But in the Franco-Prussian War in 1870, the French districts of Alsace and Lorraine came into the hands of Prussians. So about the war you have to write what happened to Alsace and Lorraine, that you have to write. So the Prussians, they imposed a ban on the teaching and studying of French. So what happened? So here our main character is the language. So what happened to the language French after that? They ordered all the teachers of the French languages to leave these districts. They wanted that the people there study only the German language. That's why people miss their language. Now the people in the story realize how precious their language is to them. Now they regret that they haven't learned their language well. They realize that they can no more learn their language. When you feel that you can't assess something from this time onwards, you will badly miss, you will really realize how precious it was for you. Just like that, when the people of Alsace and Lorraine came to know that they couldn't learn French from that day onwards, they started to realize how precious their native language was, their mother tongue was. They realized that they can no more learn their language. M. Hamel is a teacher of the French language in one of the villages of Alsace. He is delivering his last lesson of the French language. Not only the students but also the elders of the village come there to attend his class. This shows the people's love for their language. So this is how you are. What shows you this? Why does this happen? All these questions are addressed here. So this particular question has 3 parts. The people in the story suddenly realize how precious their language is to them. So what shows you this? So from where you can understand this? That one is addressed over here. And why does this happen? That is also addressed over there when we talked about the war and how Alsace and Lorraine were taken over by Prussians and how they gave the order that French language should not be taught anymore. So this is how you have to address such questions. From next class onwards, we will discuss the next chapter. So till then, take care. Bye bye.